Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King. And today I'm going to be giving you part 6 of What If Naruto Became the New God of Apokolips. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual. Share this to all of your friends in your social media platform. And don't forget to go ahead and check out What If Naruto got the Karma Seal from Arugo Asusuke over on Anime King 3. If you're new, yes, I indeed have 3 channels, which I post What If on every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead, check them out, and yeah, enjoy guys. Links will be down in the description, and also don't forget to turn on the bell notification to see exactly when I post, because I do post every day, and that's a lot. So without further ado, what do you say we jump right into this brand new episode begin now guys? So the last time we left off, Naruto made a bet with Lobo to get the information that he seek, as Lobo would bring him towards a location where the people that had hired Lobo to bring him there. As Lobo agreed to that, as the battle began between them, in a fraction of a second Lobo had been blasted by Naruto before Naruto removed his arm. As Lobo realized his arm was not healing as fast as it should heal, it was barely healing at all. Naruto told him that he had several ways of neutralizing his regeneration ability, even permanently. As Lobo tried to attack once again. However, despite Lobo just beating the crap out of Supergirl, he stood absolutely no chance against Naruto. None at all, as Naruto threw him like he was nothing. As they decided to keep this a secret between them, as Lobo would be angry if this was to get out in the universe about him losing this shamefully. As Naruto did not mind though, as long as he kept to his end of the deal and bring him towards the location in 3 days. So Lobo agreed, and with that he made his way off. With that, Naruto stepped towards Supergirl as he brought her towards Mount Miyaboku, a place that he had created with his own hands. It was filled with battle toads that he had created as well and gave sentience and powers. As Naruto sat down and had a talk with Supergirl, however, she said that the both of them should break up. Naruto looked at her surprised, as he went through the 5 stages of grief. Well, in a second. As Naruto looked at her, as he was heartbroken. It was painful, but he could not cry, and besides his face did not show emotion, so it was hard to tell, but it was painful. However, she told him that she could not be with him now that she knew what he was. They had to break up. She was breaking apart on the inside. This was hurting her badly, so she told him that he should send her back now, which he did. A small toad Gamakichi appeared after that as he started to talk to Naruto. As Naruto spoke to the toad about what had just happened a moment ago. However, in the ninja ways, Naruto should kill Supergirl because she had information that should not get out, but Naruto could not bring himself to do that. Maybe in the future, but not now. As he let her go. A few days later, Batman and John attacked Naruto, Batman mostly. However, after searching his mind, they found nothing. The real Naruto was at Mount Miyaboku as he watched. The clone had no memories on that because Naruto had created a clone that had no memories on Kitsune or anything like that. So, at the moment he was not on their high priority list. But Batman did not trust him one bit after hearing what Kara had to say. Batman had a spying equipment on Batgirl. Kara had told her everything, so Batman now knew. Sometime later, Rose spoke to Naruto about what was gonna happen, involving everything. About Lobo, as Naruto explained to her that everything would be fine. He had this under control. Also, Slade went and joined the organization that has been hunting them. as it was a League of Shadows, but Naruto believed that he was up to something. Perhaps he wanted to take it over. That must be the case. Naruto also spoke to Poison Ivy as well, as she wanted Naruto to trust her more so she could be on the ground floor of everything. However, he told her that it needs time, as he would still monitor and watch her actions. Sometime later, Batman brought up the information with the Justice League, as they were all sitting down. They talked about this problem as they were all shocked to find out that this new god was on planet Earth, and Batman did not take kindly to threats like these. Also, Supergirl thrashed Naruto on the television, where she called him a liar and a cruel man, that his actions were downright villainous, as the stocks of his company started to drop. However, Naruto expected that. It had been the same way when he had hired Poison Ivy, but after releasing his new gadget, the stock shot back up through the roof, and this was just giving him more buyers. So Naruto was not worried in the slightest. So yeah guys, basically let's play it off. You guys can switch across the play, check it off yourself. So this is we jump right into this brand new episode begin now guys. So from what we've gathered so far, Slade had a close association with the Uzumaki ninja clan, based on Supergirl testimony. Assuming everything Supergirl said is true, then it is quite clear Slade Wilson, for whatever reason, had Minato Namikaze and Kushina Uzumaki raise his son and train him in the ninja ways. Later, Slade took over his son training and they worked together as a team. His son then would become one of the most dangerous, unknown person in this world. End of story. Captain Adam said, simplifying everything that was said so far. So, you believe him? You believe that Naruto is this Nathaniel Wilson, and that he's a new god, said Diana. I do. The only question is, who is his mother? If she's a new god herself, then she must be quite dangerous. Where is she? Has she been involved in Nathaniel's life, or has she left the planet entirely? Does she ever intend to return? And what exactly is a new god anyway? Captain Adam asked curiously. Probably an alien so powerful that the people on Earth thought it had to be a god, or the alien itself dubbed itself a god. Green Arrow said, that's actually not true. New gods actually exist, and they've been on Earth here before. It's a long story, but believe me when I say, they're as real as Zeus and Poseidon, said Diana. Whatever the case might be, we need more information on Naruto or Nathaniel, or whatever he considers himself. Diana, being a god yourself, allegedly, is there any way that you can confirm to what he says if he's a god or not? Green Arrow asks inquisitively. Not if he's going out of his way to hide who he is. It might be very hard for me, especially since he's not an old god but a new god of Apokolips, said Diana. What's the difference? Batman said, as he was kind of miffed at himself for not considering that there was a difference between the two species of gods. All god powers are rooted in celestial magic, but new god powers are from cosmic energy. Diana explained. Another way of looking at it is the gap between human sorcerers and old gods is more or less equivalent to the gap between metahumans and new gods. Dr. Fate spoke up for the first time since the meeting began, as Batman narrowed his eyes towards him, wondering why he had not spoke up considering that the meeting was on celestial beings and cosmic beings. So basically we pale in comparison to them. Great, Flash said with a sigh. You care to share some of your thoughts on Kitsune, Dr. Fate? Batman said, with an edge of suspicion. No, I care not, because I am honored bound, directly or indirectly, not to interfere in Kitsune business, Dr. Fate said, shocking all of them. You know him? Hal Jordan said in surprise. We chat occasionally. I do not know if I can say we are friends, but we are definitely not enemies. Fate replied, leaving all of their jaw on the ground. Even Batman. You're telling me that this entire meeting could have been over in 5 minutes, and yet you sat there and allowed it to drag on because of what? Because you're sleeping with the enemy? Jon Stewart said angrily. It is as I said. I am honored bound to never betray Nathaniel Wilson. He helped me once on a mission I foolishly try to complete alone against 3 Lords of Chaos. Would it not be for him, not only would I have lost my life, but the very fabric of our reality would have been controlled by the Lords of Chaos. Wait, are you saying that Kitsune saved our entire reality? Captain Adam asks. Precisely. In return, he asks, I not work against him, nor would he work against me. He even offered me a means to contact him if I was in need of his help again. He has helped me solve some cases and to stop some very bad instruments of chaos. I don't expect you to trust him, per se, or me for that matter, but trust me when I say this, Nathaniel means no harm to mankind or the planet Earth, said Dr. Fate. If you're so certain about his intentions, then why haven't you invited him to join the League? Also, Kara said that she felt like she was in the presence of an enemy whenever she was in Kitsune's presence. She said it's like she had to fight hard to stop herself from letting her instincts move and attack him. So my question is, how do you feel in his presence? Superman asks curiously. I do not feel he would be a good fit for the League. Nathaniel is a leader, not a follower. He's also a free thinker. And he has an ethical but versatile set of morals. He would inevitably clash with the League. Essentially, that is to say, that he has the same or similar goal to the League, but a different moral or etiquette code. His is not as rigid as ours, said Dr. Fate, meaning he does whatever he wants whenever he wants. Sound like a typical criminal to me, said Batman. And that's my point exactly. The minute someone has a different set of morals and etiquettes, we automatically assume that our way is the right way, and that his way is the wrong way, and label him a villain. Dr. Fate said, That's not exactly how it works, and you know it, Jon Stewart said as he protests against Dr. Fate. It is not exactly true either. In any case, the only thing I'm interested in is whether Kitsune continued to harm or kill innocents. Captain Marvel said, And what will you do if he continued to harm and kill not the innocent, but the guilty? Dr. Fate asks. Killing is wrong, no matter the reason, Captain Marvel retorted. Says who? Whose standard is that? Who created such law? Religion? Not everyone is religious. And it's the fundamental right that no one should be compelled to follow a religion if they don't desire to follow one. Where does that leave us? The law? Who made the law? The government? Does the government not kill? How many people has the US government killed in the past month? Never mind since the last Democrat elections. Why haven't you or any of us done anything about it? The last time I checked, only the Constitution itself has suffered, not the government. Yet none of us ever do anything about the crimes against humanity committed by the most governments in the world, more especially US government. So again I ask, who said it is bad to kill evil people? Who gave you the authority to stop the people that kill those people? Does your belief system take precedence over others? Fate asks, as everyone was silent. Captain Marvel unable to answer the question, as he was also silent. Perhaps it's about power then. Those with power decide what is right and what is wrong. The Justice League has power, so we enforce our ideas on others. That's not true. The Justice League protect those who cannot protect themselves, said Jon Stewart. And so does Kitsune. The only difference is, he doesn't protect those who would harm the helpless. He get rid of them, Fate said. He has no right to decide who lives and who dies, Batman said. But that's illogic. Neither do we. Who has the right to decide that the Joker should live to kill another 1,000 or so innocent life? Or that General Zod or Lex Luthor should live to kill again and again? We have the power to save the life that they continue to take away. But what do? Nothing. Are we not playing gods ourselves? Dr. Fate countered. What are you saying, Fate? You want the Justice League to start killing people? Asked the Flash. No. I'm merely trying to get you to see that not everyone agree with our philosophies. And that with no proof. There is no telling that ours are right and theirs are wrong. Granted, I think we can all agree that killing the innocent and oppressing the innocent people is just plain wrong. That one should not be debated, it is wrong. And there are indeed some people that deserve a chance of rehabilitation and redemption. However, what about the people like the Joker and Lex Luthor? People that has hundreds as opportunity to get redemption, to try and change. However, they spit on those opportunities and go on to harm hundreds, thousands of people. How many must suffer and die for their redemption? Fate trailed off, leaving the members of the league to figure it out for themselves. As he spoke once again, I can see that we all have much to think about. Perhaps we should adjourn and reconvene when all of us had a chance to clear our minds. Before we go though, let me be frank with you all. I value the league, and while I do not agree with the league's ideals sometimes, I do respect them, and always try my best to honor those ideals. However, I will not take any actions against Nathaniel, nor will I assist in any matter that is designed to conspire against him. I will not tattletale, but I will not assist either. Fate said with finality. Thank you, Dr. Fate. Your stance is received, accepted, and respected, at least as far as I'm concerned. However, due to Kitsune relationship with my cousin, and as a chairman of the league, an elected champion of justice, I feel compelled to look deep in the matter and perhaps have a parley with Kitsune. I have to verify the threat level, and in doing so, I give my blessing to any league member that wish to take similar actions, Superman said. Thank you, Superman. You do me great honor with your kind and humble words, Fate said. With that being said, I move to have this meeting adjourned. Batman, Manhunter, continue your investigation. But you two may not attack Naruto Uzumaki again. Not until you have presented us with proof of wrongdoings. The Justice League. You may now all be dismissed. With that, the meeting was over. 5 minutes later. Wait for me, Fate, Wonder Woman said as she catch up to the man. Please take me with you, she said. I wish to further discuss the issue of Nathaniel Wilson with you. New gods of Apokolips are dangerous and evil. That is what I've been taught since I was a child. For one that has a meta-human father to exist, to be raised on planet Earth, and to be good friends with Dr. Fate is an anomaly at least. I do not wish to intrude, but I would appreciate if you would invite me to the Tower of Fate for a deeper discussion on this matter, said Diana. You are curious about Nathaniel, and you wish to know him better, on a more personal level, for platonic reasons, or a more intimate reason. I wonder, Fate said curiously. You misunderstand. I don't like him like that, she said. I don't even know him, she said. No, you do not know him. However, you are a god who has never had the pleasure of mingling with her kind. You thought you found someone that you could bond with when you met Superman, and you two got together. But he left you for a mere human woman, and now you find yourself alone once again. But now here comes a meta-human, newborn hybrid, a person born of two worlds just like you, an Amazon and an old god hybrid. Curiosity killed the cat, Diana, and consequently it will kill you. Or maybe it will make you the luckiest and happiest gods in the universe. Fate, and only Fate, will decide. Diana was not sure what to say, as Fate has just brought up feelings that she never thought that she had, as she was silent. One's woman trash is another treasure. Come with me, Diana. Perhaps Supergirl loss will be your gain, or perhaps not. Either way, Fate awaits you and welcome you. With that, he opened his portal. As he stepped inside, as Diana went after him as well. Welcome, Diana, to the Tower of Fate. Fate trailed off in surprise, as he couldn't believe how quickly Fate acted. As right there, in front of Kent Nelson, his wife, Inza, was playing chess with Kitsune. Fate, it's been a while, old friend. Forgive me for wearing my mask, but I sensed you were not alone, and I felt the need to put it back on. Anyway, you arrived just in time. I was just about to give your wife a good old ass spanking, Kitsune said in a friendly tone. However, it was kind of terrifying given the mask made his voice so deep and dark. However, those that were used to it, well, they were used to it. Fate has intervened faster than could have been expected. Don't you think, Diana? Fate said, rhetorically. Diana stuttered, unable to form a proper word. As something finally came out. Did he just say that he was going to spank your wife? Figuratively speaking, of course. At least I hope that is what he means. Kitsune, like his namesake, is quite the trickster, said Fate. Diana of Themyscira. Honestly, I was hoping to never run into a Justice League member. But I guess that Fate has once again intervened. Get it? Because Dr. Fate brought you here. As Naruto chuckled to himself, I can never get enough of those puns, he said. In any case, seeing you here in person, and taking in your magnificent aura and presence, I can only say that it's a most wonderful pleasure to be in your presence, said Naruto. Thank you. I'm not really sure how your presence made me feel, but I am really surprised to see you. I came here to ask Dr. Fate some questions about you, but meeting you in person is much better, so I can ask you directly. I see. Well, I mainly just came by to say goodbye to the doctor and his madam, but I guess I can make time for a Wonder Woman. I mean, who wouldn't, said Naruto. I can't remember the last time I received such a warm welcome, certainly. Never from a god before, Diana said, with a light blush. Ahem, Fake said, as he cut through the elations that were taking place, like he and his wife were not even there. You said you came here to say goodbye. Where are you going? Why would you say goodbye unless you don't think that you're going to come back, Fate said, in a worried tone. Two new gods of Apokolips known as Godfrey, aka Mr. Miracle, and Big Barta as hired Lobo, the space bounty hunter, to come and take me to them. Godfrey is the leader of Apokolips, Lord Darkseid adoptive son, and the biological son of the leader of New Genesis, High Father. He is special, he possesses a great cosmic power known as the Alpha Effect. Big Barta is the daughter of Big Brida. She's a powerful warrior. In fact, the last time I checked, she was the leader of the all-female elite warrior unit of Apokolips, the Furies. Naruto explained. Leader of the Furies, an all-female organization that your mother belongs. Does this mean she's more powerful than your mother? Fate asks. Not definitely, but most likely, said Naruto. You do not think that you can defeat them? Barda and Godfrey, Fate said wearily. All the information I have about them is from my mother files. I have never encountered them, therefore, I do not know the true measure of their skills and power. However, the fact that they know about me means that my mother is in danger. I will have to hunt them down and deal with them. That is, of course, if they're a threat to my mother, or if they've killed or harmed her in any way, said Naruto. What about Lobo? What will you do about him? How do you know that he was hired to kidnap you, seeing that you're still here? Did you already deal with him? Inza asked with concern. They already fought and Kitsune defeated him, but allowed him to live. That is, of course, because of the intel we got from Supergirl, said Fate. Ah, so Batman decided to share the information with the League. What a troublesome fellow, Naruto said. You are correct, of course. I have allowed Lobo to live so that he can take me to Godfrey and Big Barta, without knowing exactly what they're capable of. I felt it prudent that I play possum and hit them with the element of surprise, Naruto said. I could go with you. I owe you at least that much. And besides, I would be honored to fight alongside you, especially when it concerned the safety of someone important to you as your mother. Fate said. Thanks, but no thanks. The element of surprise will be gone if you're there. And I did not come to say goodbye because I feel I would not return. I just came to say goodbye because I'll be gone for a long time. And I do not know how long it will take for me to return. But I will return, said Naruto, with conviction. What if this is a trap? What if Darkseid is the one waiting for you at the end of your journey? Said Fate. All the more reason for you to stay put. I've been preparing for him since I was born. I have allies and friends who also prepared for the war. You do not need to stay in your hands, nor should you worry Inza that much, said Naruto. Fate, can you track him? When he goes, then teleport me to him when the time comes. I'm not letting him go and face those monsters alone, Diana said mentally, hoping that fate will catch on to her mental link. You do realize that Kitsune is one of the strongest telepaths in the world, right? He will, or if he hasn't yet, catch on to her telepathic communication, said Fate. I don't care. I'm not letting him go alone. If you won't help me, I'll find someone else to help me, Diana said in a stubborn tone. As Fate wondered if a pure and automatically good heart came with a stubborn mind. You will have to find someone else. I cannot betray Nathaniel, Fate said. Later that evening, there were several banging sounds. What the hell? Wonder Woman? Naruto thought in dismay, as he wondered if this is what people meant when they say deja vu. As he saw Wonder Woman banging on his penthouse window, like a certain cape, super individual. What are you doing here? Said Naruto as he opened the window for her to come in, hoping that no one had seen her out there. I'm here to stick to you like glue. You quickly disappear into a portal after I asked Fate to teleport me to you. You caught our telepathic communication, didn't you? Well, I'm not going anywhere, or rather, you're not going anywhere without me, said Diana. So what? You're going to babysit me until Lobo comes to pick me up then? Naruto asks. Diana's eyes widened in surprise. What? Said Naruto. So you really are Kitsune then? Diana asked, surprised. I thought you already knew that, said Naruto. You were wearing a mask at Tower of Fate, and your voice was completely different. Honestly, I still had my doubts. But this pretty much confirms it, said Diana. I figure it would be hard to believe. It is never a good identity cover if people can easily believe it. But you're like a dog with a bone. It's easy to tell that nothing short of killing you or knocking you unconscious would make you give up on this course of action, said Naruto. Does this vex you? She asks. It both vexed and intrigued me, said Naruto, as he sat on the couch, as Diana came over and sat down as well. So, how did you and Supergirl meet? I mean, I know how you met, but how did you, you know? Diana asked a light blush. She was curious, once again letting her curiosity get the better of her, despite knowing that this was, well, a very personal question, and a very sore spot as well, given the recent and very public breakup of the two. It wasn't very different how you and I have met. The first encounter was random, fate I suppose. The second encounter was she coming here to visit my penthouse in the evening, hovering over the same exact window that you were at a moment ago, banging on it for my attention. The difference is, she did not came to protect me, but to seduce me and confess her feelings. So she initiated everything. Interesting, Diana said thoughtfully. I hope you're not here to seduce me. I don't think I'll be able to resist, arguably, the most beautiful woman on the planet, or perhaps in the universe. Nor would I want to, but that is not the problem. The problem is I'm fresh from a terrible breakup with a woman that I love who betrayed me. So my trust in women and my willingness to commit myself to one are extremely low right now, said Naruto. Thank you. I appreciate your honesty. But I'm not here to seduce you. I'm here because I believe that you need a friend right now. I am here simply to be a friend for you. Besides, knowing who you're going up against, I cannot in my right mind allow you to go through that all alone. If anyone threatened my mother like that, it will be reassuring to have someone watching my back, she said, in a sincere tone. You are pure of heart, it seems. But so was Supergirl, and she still betrayed me. Pure heart is necessarily not a good thing. As they say, too much of one thing is a bad thing. If the glass is full of milk, the milk would start to spill. And when it does, it will make a mess, said Naruto. Then let us hope, unlike Supergirl, I have the right quality of milk, Diana replied, making Naruto laugh, as he was both amused and impressed by her. Alright, I'll accept your help, if only as a way to verify your true intentions. You have nothing to fear. This has nothing to do with the Justice League. This is just a friend helping out a friend. Besides, I wasn't giving you a choice in the matter. I was going to come with you whether you want my help or not, she said with a beautiful smile. I'm not sure that we can convince Lobo to take you with us. I mean, he's not getting paid. Naruto started to laugh. as the idea popped into his mind, cutting off his thoughts. "What's so funny?" said Diana. "You intended to use your lasso on him, don't you? To make him tell you where he's gonna take me. And how to get there," said Naruto. "And what's so funny about that? It's a sound plan," said Diana. "That's not what's funny," said Naruto. "What's funny is, rather than that, there's a simple solution. I could just hire Lobo to kidnap you and take you to Mr. Miracle and Big Barta. That way, he will have no choice but to bring you along with me." As Diana finally understood what he was talking about, as she started to laugh as well, getting the joke. I can just imagine the look on his face. "Fate was right about you. You are a trickster," she said. As she laughed some more, causing Naruto to look at her, to see how beautiful she was. And she was indeed stunning. Everything about her was crash. Naruto was cut off as it was the explosion, the sound of his windows. Turning, he saw none other than his ex-girlfriend hovering in mid-air, her eyes glowing a menacing red. "Car, what the hell?" said Naruto, in both anger and confusion. For a moment, Naruto wondered if she was gonna actually blast them with her heat vision, as her eyes grew redder and redder until she burst off at blinding speed, moving at least Mach 2. "That looks like one very angry and jealous ex-girlfriend," said Diana. "She's the one that dumped me though," said Naruto. "Only 2 days ago. And you are already in the arms of a beautiful superhero once again." "But I'm not in your arms," said Naruto. "Try to convince her of that," said Diana. Shit, Naruto thought. She better not share this with the media. She's really become a media whore since her first interview, hasn't she? Naruto thought out loud. She's young. And consequently foolish. She will outgrow those tendencies, Diana said. "Maybe I should talk to her before I go. Maybe that will help. She seemed to be in a lot of pain," said Naruto. Diana looked towards him surprised. "You will do that for her, despite how she betrayed you and broke your heart?" Diana asked, looking at him with so much curiosity. "Well, I do not hate her," said Naruto. "And I don't want to be the source of her pain." Diana was shocked. "Then you're an even greater man than I ever could imagine, Nathaniel," she said. "I was right to come here so I can meet this side of you. And I'm even more so determined to fight alongside you and protect you," she said, with a warm smile. "Fate, I think I'm starting to understand why you're so attached to Nathaniel," Diana thought to herself. "He's a noble man. No, a noble god," she thought, as she felt a stir in her heart as she looked at him. He was so pure. Time skip. "So, did you talk to her?" Diana asked. They were currently in Lobo warship, something that Diana didn't even know that Lobo possessed. Lobo had suppressing inhibitors locked around their ankles, their necks, and their arms, as they were in an adjacent cell, with a force field generator keeping them inside. The warship itself was state-of-the-art, the technology inside, rivaling Kryptonian technology as far as Diana could see. "Who? Supergirl?" "Yeah. I'm busy talking to her right now," said Naruto. "I don't understand. How are you doing that all the way from here? We are literally galaxies away from Earth," said Diana. "My shadow clone is talking to her. Think of it as an extension of me. Wherever memory my shadow clone experience, return back to me once it dispels. I've also modified the technique so I can also experience what the clone experienced at the same time, and directly control it even though I'm so far away from Earth," said Naruto. Diana was shocked as she heard that. "You mean to tell me that you're talking to her right now while also talking to me? How are you able to give us both your undivided attention?" Diana said curiously. "Well, my mind I guess is just that flexible. I'm arguably the best telepath and empath in the universe. I can apply my mind in all sorts of ways. However, I do hope that it does not offend you that I'm talking to the both of you at the same time," Naruto said sincerely. No, not at all," she said. "I mean, I could see how it would be offended, but right now I'm in too much awe to be offended," she said. She's very open-minded. Perhaps she and I will get along," Naruto thought. Even though the fact that she would go this far for him, despite she not knowing him, just because she felt he need to have someone by his side in this whole ordeal. was already enough for him to see her as a very good person. With him questioning and verifying her intentions, that was just him being a shinobi. I see. Anyway, there's something I found a bit peculiar about you, said Naruto. What's that? She asks. Well, when Lobo first took us into space, he carried us on his space bike or whatever you call that. And I couldn't help but notice that you were suffocating to death. I wasn't aware that Olympians were unable to breathe in the vacuum of space. In fact, I'm pretty sure that they can survive in the vacuum of space. And you are one of them, so what gives? Naruto asks. I've actually never thought if Olympians can survive the vacuum of space or not. I've never considered it. If I could survive without oxygen. However, Nathaniel, I am at a loss for words. I have no answers. I'm probably as confused as you are, she said. She was a bit self-conscious when it came to this topic, as she felt a bit inadequate, being in the presence of a god who had powers that she could only dream of. I see. Well, I have a theory. You see, I too, once upon a time needed to breathe oxygen, eat and sleep and all that stuff. Not as much as a normal human though. What changed? Said Diana. My power grew too strong for the seal that is suppressing my power. Which brings us to what I think is happening to you. You think my power seal away? Said Diana. Yes, I believe so. I do not think that you have access to all your potential. Something is suppressing your full power. Perhaps it was a failsafe or something. Who knows? The most important thing is I can break the seal and unleash your full power, but now is probably not the right time. We have no idea how much of your power will be unstable once it's released, and what will happen to the ship. It can be a weapon to destroy your enemies, but if not properly controlled, it can end up destroying you instead, said Naruto. I think I understand what you mean, but how can you be sure that my power is sealed away? What if I'm just weak, she said, as Naruto started to laugh, making her think that he was laughing at her. Why are you laughing, she said, her tone sounding hurt. Lady Diana, you are many things but weak. It's not one of those things. I've seen your battles on TV. I read reports about them as well. I have even physically been to some of them, or at least my recon clones have. And trust me, nothing about you is even close to remotely weak, said Naruto. You have recon clones? Diana said. Huh, you don't miss anything, do you? Here I am complimenting you, and all you can think about is my recon clones. Oh, I'm sorry, she said. Thank you for the compliment. It means a lot. No need to apologize, said Naruto. That was another compliment. It is good that you don't miss anything. It's a part of what makes you a warrior, said Naruto. Thank you, she said. It's my pleasure. In any case, to answer your question, I do not know for sure. However, fine note, it's rather easy for me. As Naruto focused on her. Nathaniel, something is wrong with your eyes, she said. They just turned metallic gray, and they have rings around the pupil. Diana said, do not worry. This is just my power. At least one of them. I call it the Rinnegan. It's a dojutsu that gives me visual prowess, such as telescopic vision, microscopic vision, infrared vision, 360-degree vision, X-ray vision, ultra-ray vision, precognition, and many more, said Naruto. What? That sounds like it's even better than the visual powers of Superman. Well, I do not know the full extent of Superman's visual powers. However, I was right after all. There's a seal on the inside of your bracelet. Right now, I would say that you only have access to about 65% of your true power. The seal in Matrix is lightning based, and it was constructed by celestial magic. So, I can safely say that it was placed there by Zeus himself. Lord Zeus? But why would he do that to me, she said. Do not be offended. My own mother sealed my power away as well. Not to punish me or make me weak, but to protect me and hide me from Darkseid. Zeus probably had similar reasons for doing what he did to you. As Naruto's eyes returned back to normal, much to Diana's relief, because she found the Rinnegan to be terrifying and intimidating. I see. Then he probably did it to hide me from Ares. Diana thought out loud. Ares, the god of war. That is one of his sons, yes? Why would he feel the need to hide you from your own brother? Ares has become power hungry. He seeks to spark war for no reason, other than to feed his own power and lust. He is dangerous and he's an enemy of the Amazons, who Zeus created to fight for peace and justice. I see. Then you yourself must be a failsafe, said Naruto. Maybe Zeus cannot bring himself to kill his own child, so he's counting on you to kill Ares if the need arises. I mean, there are other Olympians, such as Hercules, Apollo, Athena, Hermes, etc. But none of them, except maybe Hercules, has the battle prowess and experience that an Amazon-born goddess would have, said Naruto. They may not have the skills of an Amazon, but they're more experienced than I am. And they were said to be trained by Lord Zeus himself. It doesn't make sense that Zeus would rely on me instead of the others, said Diana. I get what you mean, but the fact is, he hid you from Ares and sealed away your power. That implies that he sees you as some kind of trump card, if not to kill Ares, but to at least protect the Amazon by killing him. I see. Diana said as she frowned, not liking the idea of killing her own brother, even if she did not know him personally. However, she would do that to protect her mother and her sisters. So, I wouldn't need to breathe anymore, or eat or sleep. When my true power is released, Diana acts a bit excited, as she steered the conversation back to where it originally was supposed to be steered. Well, yes. You probably don't need to eat or sleep that much already, do you? Said Naruto. I don't. I can't even remember the last time I slept. About 3 weeks ago probably. And I only have to eat at least once every other week, said Diana. See? Almost there. You'll be dancing in the vacuum of space in no time, said Naruto. He said in a light-hearted tone, making her laugh, as he laughed as well, as the two bonded on their trip. Things were developing really fast between them, as Naruto understood why. It was not that Diana was desperate, but the hole in her heart was quite obvious. She had been yearning for true companionship for a long time now. Left unbothered, it's been a very long time. The opportunity to meet someone like him, their backgrounds and their upbringing, it was so similar. Naruto was perhaps the only person that truly understands her, that she's met in a very long time. And she was not gonna let this opportunity pass her by that easily. And with the both of them in this situation, it stripped away your mental wall and allowed you to truly see the person in front of you. He had no doubt that he was physically attracted to her, and with him being a telepath, an empath, and a sage, who can feel out a person's physical and spiritual energy, its final assessment was she was a very instinctive person. She didn't try to rationalize or theorize situations. She was someone that followed her heart and her instincts. It's perhaps why she's such a great hero. Her purity of heart and her commitment to listen and follow said heart makes her a good champion of justice. However, Kara is similar to her in that aspect, which makes me wonder, could I be making the same mistake I did with Kara, letting her get too close? Would she be able to reconcile her way of belief in the way I do things, or with her warrior background in her upbringing, even her out, Naruto thought to himself. Are you alright? Diana asked with concern. What? Said Naruto. You drifted off, like you were in deep thought or something. Is it her? Supergirl, I mean. Do you miss her? Well, yes, but I wasn't thinking about her. Well, I guess I kinda was thinking about her, but I was mostly thinking about you in that moment. As Diana released a small giggle at Naruto's expense. What? Said Naruto, raised an eyebrow. Oh, nothing. It's just a bit reassuring to know even the great Kitsune god can get a bit flustered. In that moment, there was no difference between you and a teenager flustered boy, she said, with another laugh. Woman, don't make me break these cuffs and come over there. I'm warning you. No one has better tickling hands than me, said Naruto. And here I thought that your hands were good for something else a little more than tickling. But I suppose it can't be helped. You're a young god after all, she said, teasing Naruto. As he looked at her, his mind blanking a bit on lust, desire, wonder, and excitement. As she laughed once more. Flashback, 20 minutes earlier on Earth. Don't be alarmed. Don't make any unnecessary move. And don't make a sound. Speak only in your mind. Do not talk out loud because you're being watched. Kara heard an all too familiar voice in her head. What the heck, Naruto? I mean Nathaniel. What are you thinking? How the hell are you even doing this? Why can't I control my body? As I already said, you're being watched. By who? And why do you care? What do you want from me, Kara asked. As her body was moving around doing city patrol, as she was only a passenger for the ride. By Batman and Martian Manhunter. I, on the other hand, or rather my shadow clone, is being watched by Question, said Naruto. What? Why on earth would they be watching us? Batgirl, she said, correcting herself. Did she betray? No, she wouldn't do that. She's my best friend. You figured that out really quickly. I'm impressed. You really would have made a good kunoichi. A kunoichi? That's a female ninja. I don't know about that one, Nathaniel. I'm not a fan of assassins, and I'm not sure I appreciate you comparing me to one. Kara said with displeasure. It was a mere compliment, but nevertheless, given your background and your belief system, I can see why you would not take it as such, said Naruto. She remained quiet. Anyway, I do not know if Barbara Gordon would or would not betray you. However, she did not betray you this time. Batman is keeping tabs on her. He has a video recording device on her when she's in her bat costume that is keeping tabs on the both of you. Oh my god, that controlling bastard! Kara said with anger in her tone until she realized. Wait a minute. How did you know who Batgirl was? Don't be ridiculous, Kara-chan. How many times have I told you? I'm a ninja, said Naruto. I guess Batman and Manhunter aren't the only ones spying on me, she said, venom in her tone. No different from you. You were spying on me just yesterday. I wasn't spying on you, she said. Like, why would I want to spy on you? I'm like, totally over you, she said. That was the most unconvincing lie that Naruto ever heard in his entire life. Sure, I guess you just blasted my window and gave me and Diana that look for no reason then, said Naruto. Screw you, Naruto, she said. You know what? Go screw Diana for all I care. I don't want or need you. You got that, she said, frustration in her tone. Martian Manhunter just tried to read your mind. I've blocked off your mind from interference. However, he now knows that someone, another telepath, is connecting with you, or perhaps controlling you. Of course that is true, said Naruto completely, ignoring her outbursts. It would have sent her over the rails if it wasn't for the gravity of the situation. Shit. What are we gonna do now, she asks. Kara would never admit it, but she didn't want this conversation to end. She hated Naruto more than anyone else right now, but she also loved him more than anyone else right now. Love and hate. There was a fine line between, and she was on both sides. The line was so small her feet could fit over both sides. If she wanted to admit the truth, she wanted nothing more than to just run into his arms right now, or for him to come back to her, promising that he would not do anything villainous and change and become a hero. It was the reason why she had not tried to gain full control for her body back. Because as long as he was controlling her, she could talk to him, and she could feel him here, despite him not physically being here. But he was still here talking to her, and she loved that. But the thought of the Justice League coming after him, it meant that he might disappear entirely and be out of her life. Something that scared her. It terrified her. Relax, it's rather simple. I will hand control back over your body to you. Once you are back in control, you will fly at your max speed, northeast, exactly 6,000 miles away from here. You will then make a 90-degree turn and fly exactly 5,500 miles and then stop. When you do, you will be a few meters from where I am, said Naruto. What the hell, Nathaniel? Won't they just follow me, she said. Negative. Your top speed is 4.5. The Manhunter top speed is 3.5. And he has a slower acceleration than you, so it will take him a while to reach max speed. Batman aircraft is much slower, so they won't be able to follow you, said Naruto. If you follow my instructions directly. Oh, I see. That's actually very impressive. I mean, it's very suspicious that you know our top speed, but it's proving to be rather handy this time around. That's actually a better response than I expected. However, timing is essential here. Go as soon as you have control over your body again. In 3, 2, 1. As she was gone. As she was gone before Batman could even get into his aircraft, Manhunter could not keep up with her. Once she arrived towards the location, Naruto teleported her away towards his Kamui dimension. This is a replica of my penthouse, said Naruto. So we're not in your penthouse? No, we're somewhere else entirely, said Naruto. He was wearing his kitsune outfit without the headgear. Okay, let's get this over with, she said, as she threw herself on the couch. So what is it going to be? Goodbye sex? Breakup sex? Or a meaningful conversation that will give us both the closure that we need? She asked half seriously and half sarcastically. There is no way I'm letting you turn me into a simp all over again, said Naruto, as he sat on the opposite couch. Asakari giggled at that, as she had forgotten how funny and how insufferable his responses could be. I could get you simping over me anytime I want, she said to him, but I can't go back there with you. I just can't. You're a merciless killer. And a murderer even. You're probably a villain, in fact. You definitely are one, she said. Yes, about that. What exactly makes a villain? I mean, apart from being an assassin, of course, said Naruto. Are you kidding me? She said. You attack a government facility. You mind rape and brainwash everyone and stole government property and government people. You collaborated with a metahuman demon sorcerer hybrid and stole classified information from a government official and drive her mad in the process. Let's not forget that you mind wipe one of their scientists as well. Tell me, does that sound heroic to you? She asks. No, not at all. But there is two sides to a story. Another might say that I was attacked by a government official who threatened to kill the woman I love in a way of controlling me. I therefore acted out of love to drive her mad so she wouldn't be able to hurt my loved one. The demonic metahuman sorcerer hybrid that I collaborated with was being tortured and used as a slave and as a weapon against her will. I liberated her and gave her the constitutional right to freedom and equality. Let us not forget that the government facility that I attacked was kidnapping and experimenting on children, turning them into weapons and using them against the Justice League. Honestly, Kara, do you really think I'm the villain here? Well, don't bother answering that, because I know if you thought I was a villain, you'd have tried to apprehend me already. Even if you could not do it because you saw my power and skills against Lobo, you'd have gotten your cousin or the League involved. Naruto said with blunt truth and honesty. But you didn't do that, did you? Why? Do you know what I think? What? She said, as she was being hit by the harsh truth. I think you're scared. You're scared about facing the true enemy because you know the government will be one of your biggest enemy. And you know if you start to fight against them, you will have to leave once you go up against the government. And you might lose the love of National City and the US as a whole. And others of the world as well. After all, you're an alien, and the people might not want to be ruled and governed by an alien, even if she has their best at heart. That would hurt you, wouldn't it? After all, you just want to be loved. You just want to fit in. Losing another home would Naruto trail off, as he saw how much his words alone were putting on her. It looked like she was about to mentally break down, as she was completely quiet. I'm sorry, said Naruto as he got up and walked over towards her. But guys, be in subscribe right here. If you want to see next part and do, like, subscribe, comment down below and turn on the bell notifications they posted. But I'm out for now. See you guys soon. Peace.